Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the Petal Place property. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Peaches. So happy to have you here with me today. We will be actually finishing up boiling the maple syrup that we started for maybe a month or two ago. It's been sitting on the counter now. In the last video that we did when we did that big boil, and I told you guys that I was actually going to leave it be and then we finish it the next day. But guess what? When my hubby came home from playing soccer, he stayed outside. Well, he was in and out of the house, and he basically boiled it down to I don't have much to do, right? So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. But usually I like to wipe down my counters in the morning with some cane vinegar. So I'm gonna do that. And then, when I was coming down, my hubby said he wanted me to make porridge. And I said, you know what? I cooked last night and I baked last night. Not making any porridge. Bye, bye. But guess what? I am down here and he doesn't know it, but I'm gonna make some oatmeal porridge. So I'm gonna get the oatmeal on, and I'm going to do the maple syrup at the same time. But let's just go ahead and wipe this counter. Okay, so whenever I'm doing my porridge, I like to do it in a pot that's thick enough so that the porridge doesn't stick. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get the porridge on. Like, I think what I'm gonna do is start the porridge on the big burner, and then I transfer it over, and then I get the maple syrup started on this big burner here. Okay, so here's the maple syrup that has been sitting on the island for a while. It's been marooned on a desert island. And then this is some more. Just put a little water in there as a keeper, and then I'm gonna get water to boil. I boil the water before I put it in the pot to make the oatmeal. So I just put the water to boil there, and I'm gonna grab a bigger pot from under the stairs for my maple syrup boil. Okay, so this is the pot that I'm gonna boil my syrup in. I'll just put it over here. Should put my apron on because I tend to wipe my hands on my clothes. Yeah, I also have my jars ready. So I'm gonna bring my jars over here also. Okay, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and put some oatmeal in the pot. Ah. It must be cross thread or something. Okay. I just want to open it. I'm going to use the other jar. I'm not going to fight with that jar. Okay, that should be good. Now, I have decided to use pint jars instead of quart jars, just so you don't have a whole bunch of maple syrup opened at the same time. And I know some people don't really use their lids because maybe they use like an opener or something that damages the lid. If this seal around here is good, I reuse my lid. Okay, I don't throw them out after one use. And I tend to leave my rings on my jars, maybe because I don't jar or I don't can enough, and so I don't need a lot of rings, but I tend to leave my rings on. Now and again I'll have to pop one off something to get to use to do something else, but yeah, I tend to leave it on. Now my water is boiled. I'm going to pour it in the pot. So now I'm gonna leave this to boil for a while, maybe about 10 minutes or so, before I start adding the milk. Yeah, but in the past I've used cotton cloth to, I know you can use muslin too, but I've never really used muslin, to strain the syrup. This time I didn't do that. I did what somebody we met recently, and he does a whole ton of maple syrup for himself and his family. He doesn't sell it. Yeah, he lives out here in the countryside too. But his way of doing is to let it boil and then sit for a couple of weeks so all the sediments can settle at the bottom, and then he pours off the top and leave the part with the sediments at the bottom. And I think that is so much easier than trying to strain and strain and strain and strain through a cloth, right? And so I have already poured off once since the syrup has been sitting on the counter, and I'm going to go ahead now and pour off again to see how much sediment is still left in the syrup. Put the jars over here. And by the way, usually when you're boiling maple syrup, there is a temperature that you're trying to achieve to know that it's done, which means that enough water has been removed from the syrup. However, that is also influenced by the height, the elevation at which you live. However, what you can use is a barometer, but we've never used a barometer in 9 years we've been doing it. We've just done the 219 or above. Sometimes we go to 220 something degrees. Yeah. Because the ideal temperature apparently is 7 degrees above the boiling point of water. You can see in the pot here, there is quite a bit of sediment settled in the bottom here. And I'm not throwing this out. I am gonna strain this. I'm gonna put this through a strainer. Let's do that now and see what happens. It almost looks like, honey, it seems like all I need to do is warm this thing up. You have got it down to syrup, basically. No wonder why it's been sitting on the counter so long without going bad. Because you've gotten it right down to where it needs to be. It seems to me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and strain this one off too. Oh, it looks good though. It really looks good.
And so with the
it seems like the one that was in the small pot was thicker than the one in the big pot here.
yeah, probably that was the bottom.
Oh, and I'm not seeing much sediment in this one at all. Mamma mia. It's basically clean. I did one strain already since it's been sitting there. No, check that out. It is clean.
I did a straining when I was
You
out
did?
there.
Well, that's excellent because you got off the first crud. crud. But this is, oh, if you look closely, there is stuff settled in the bottom here.
I guess because it sits so long.
Yeah, so which is a good thing because it made my job easier to strain it. Because check this out, there ain't anything in the strainer. That is a good thing. It's way easier than what I used to do. My goodness, I used to strain so many times through those cloths and I would still end up with quite a bit of sediment. I'm going to start getting in some soy and some almond. I'm going to put in some almond. Okay, so give it a stir. Looks good. Okay, I'm going to let it go ahead and keep boiling. Because as I said, it is not the quick oats. So we want to make sure that it is good. It's tender. But this is ready to go on the stove. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, this doesn't have a thingy. Oh, the other one does. Let's just use this one, and this one was even a finer strainer, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay, let's see. I am trying to strain off the sediments that are in this. Wow. Okay, let's see. I'm going to show you guys what I got from it. It's not much. I'm pretty happy with the straining process this year. Yeah, that's not much. I'm going to rinse this out. I'm going to put this to sit. And just pour that in a jar. Can be used in pancakes and cakes. Yeah. There we go. Has a little sediments, but can be used. Need a little more salt. Oh, I think it's at a point where I can switch burner now, so I'm gonna put it over here. The second largest burner. There we go. So I can finish up. And I'm going to get the maple syrup on here. I'm just going to turn it up. And as soon as I see it start steaming, I turn the flame back down. And we're looking for 219 degrees or above. Now, this is my ginger and turmeric brew. I'm going to boil some water so I can make some tea. Pour some in my cup. And this is mega strong, very strong. Cover this back and put it in the fridge. Then I pour the boiled water over it. And then I just drink away. Very hot. Very hot indeed. Guys, the porridge is ready. If anybody's ready to have something, I'm going to use this measuring cup to pour. So I just fill it up to the neck of the jar. And the canners, the professional canners will tell you, don't do like this, just finger tight, right? So that is what I do, finger tight. Because the seal doesn't depend on how tight you tighten the jar. Oh, you know what? I missed a step. Sorry. I should actually wipe off the top of the jar, because if there is any liquid on the top of the jar, it can actually interfere with the sealing of your jar.
Losing your tag.
Okay, and finger tight. It is hot. Okay, then I put it over here. Fill to the neck, then wipe. Finger tight, and then repeat until the syrup is done out of the pot.
These things go bad quickly. Especially all these.
Okay, so there's a little nip on this jar. Yeah, there's a little chip, and it may affect the way it seals. So I'm gonna change this jar. I'm gonna put it in the sink because it's mega hot, so it just breaks if I do that. So that's another thing, guys. You gotta make sure that the top of your jar is not chipped. Because if it is, it will affect the seal. Finger tight. Let's see if I'm gonna get through all of these jars. Well, I turned off the burner because it was already way past 219 degrees, so it should maintain the heat. Well, so far I am pretty pleased with the amount of syrup we are getting for the amount of salt that we collected. Oh, remember to wipe, girl. Got the color. Okay, so far we have 6 pints. From last year's boil, we still have 2 quart jars and 2 pint jars. So we did good. And I think we're doing good here. I'm gonna have to get more jars. That's a good thing. Oh yeah, still above 219. I just want to make sure it stays hot before I can it. Another one is there. I gotta grab a few more jars. Okay, so I grabbed 4 more. Let's see if we'll fill the 4. Let's just check the... Okay, good. Look at them, Paul. Look behind you. Look at the island.
Good.
We did good.
Thinking we're gonna get a dozen.
How many are there?
Looks like about 8. No, more than what? You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 already.
Okay, and this is number 12.
I didn't realize it's same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. I thought it was 3 rows.
Yeah. I am feeling good. I am feeling so good about what we've gotten. This is our reward for stomping through the snow. Although this year wasn't too bad. Because we didn't have a lot of snow on the ground.
That is true.
So this year wasn't too bad at all. But other years, we'd have to trump through snow that's up to sometimes our knees. And give me knee problems. Cool. It's coming down now, but I think there probably another jar after this jar that's left in this pot. And what's so good is it is so clean. It is so clean. Usually when I can, here I go again. Usually when I can maple syrup, I will have sediments settling in the bottom. Oh, I need to get one more jar. But this time it looks like I'm getting a cleaner maple syrup. Check that out, guys. Oh, mamma mia. This is good. This is so good. This is so good. Look at maple syrup. Wow. And there's so much heat coming off them. Do you think this can fill another jar? I'm gonna try. Oh, I'll use a small jar. Whatever this size is. It's not a pint. I'm not sure what size this is. Oh no. There's still a little left in the pot. Actually, you know what? I can safely say, remember I put this in the fridge earlier on? If I were to put this, strain this, and put this with this, I would have another pint, and then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pints. So I can safely say that we got 17 pints of maple syrup. It's a good thing. Check this out, guys. Look at the syrup in the... Oh, it's so cool. I still have a little left here. I put it in another one of my jam jars. I'm draining everything. I'm draining everything out of this pot. Yeah. This is good. This is so good. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the fridge. Okay. Now, usually when I do my maple syrup, I like to turn them upside down for a little bit. Finger tight. I just make sure that they are tight before I flip them. I think it helps to release the air and helps with a proper seal. That's what I think. I am so happy though. Check this out, guys. I am so happy with how much syrup we got. It seems like we didn't collect as much this year as we usually do. So I think maybe the sugar content this year was just higher. Because that happens sometimes. Some years the sugar content is higher. And so it doesn't take as much sap to get the amount of maple syrup that you would get other years. And one of the beautiful things is when I'm done canning them is to hear when they start popping. Poop, 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 which means that they're sealing. Check this out, guys. I have this jar here because I don't throw my jars out. I take the labels off and I use them for storage because I don't like storing stuff in plastic. Look at this. And that is not the only. This one can't fit on it. So I'm just going to turn it down right here. And there's that little one. And then we have this one and the other one that has the sediments that I have in the fridge. So in all, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 15, 16, 17 pints of maple syrup. That's a pretty good haul for our labor of tapping the trees, collecting the sap, and boiling. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. If you're here and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And remember to turn on the bell notification icon, guys. Come along with us on this journey. Please remember to like, share, leave your comment because I really like to hear what you have to say. And remember, dare to be different, follow your own star. You do have a great rest of the week. I'll see you in the next video.